The system that we currently have is failing our children. I believe this state can do better by my children.
On any given day, we don't know where some 20% of our young people are. There's nobody keeping a central record. We can do better than that.
There's been an attack on public education, underfunding of programs.
You're talking about a school district that is, for 12 out of the last 14 years, has been under state takeover, and the community's voice has completely been ignored.
We have to return governance to the people.
I don't see many who are building power with groups like youth and people of color.
We've got all of these things happening and our children still are not doing any better. What's wrong with this picture?
With deep-seated problems afflicting communities across Michigan, citizens are facing a choice: leave things as they are, or stand together to make a change. WeROC, the Washtenaw Regional Organizing Coalition, and MEJC, the Michigan Education Justice Coalition, are doing just that. This is the story of how people in two communities are choosing action.
There was a clear need for a faith, labor, and community coalition in southeastern Michigan and Michigan as a whole. And so birth out of that, they started having these teach-ins.
I call it groundwork, where people are actually going to the folks in their communities where they are, and there's nobody in an ivory tower shouting down commands.
After talking to lots of parents and residents across the city, we realized that there was a large gap, that the largest voice that wasn't being heard was those of parents and residents because they weren't organized around the city. So we needed to find allies that shared the same pains as us and the same values in order to make systemic change.
Working with the ACLU and the NAACP and 482 Forward makes a lot of sense.
If we only focus on what divides us, we will never emerge united. And I think that is on the onset, what has brought MEJC together, and I think that is what will keep MEJC together in the long run.
We didn't spend a lot of time thinking or talking about how different we were. We were talking about that target, that decision maker.
Groups of people who have long felt divided are uniting to face their challenges.
It has allowed me to learn that I am not alone in the things that I fight for, that we have the same problems across the city, whether it be in Southwest Detroit or the east side of Detroit or the west side of Detroit. And it doesn't matter what walk of life we come from either. We could be teachers, we could be, executives. We all come together to fight for the same thing.
One of the things that makes me the most proud is the relationships that formed from people that came together for kind of political reasons, but they started liking each other and they started trusting each other and taking chances together.
Our power comes from people and organizing people. And the more people we organize, the more officials know that this is an important issue, whatever the issue is.
Coalitions like WeROC, MEJC, and many others are already having a big effect.
We were able to get a win on Ban the Box almost immediately with one of the townships, and then went to four or five more municipalities one at a time, and were able to get those leaders to agree to take the box off of their applications.
I do believe we played a critical part in forcing and changing the conversations that are being had. We can make sure that our young people are receiving that education that is so critical and vital to the success of not only Detroit, but the state of Michigan and this country.
Once we get that feeling of belonging and that we really can win, it's very hard for people to then leave it.
Well, I would hope we would work ourselves out of needing a committee for education. I would like it to be, that we got all the things that we needed and our children can get the educations that they need to be CEOs and executives within our state.
Find out how you can join with others to empower your community at MichiganEdJustice.org.